Yo, what's good everyone? My name is Kevin and today I'm gonna go over how to get lean muscle and get strong as Now, if you guys are watching this video, this is a follow-up video to my last video, which I'll put a card up on the top right of the screen. But basically that video was about how to get lean or cut, and this video is gonna be about how to get muscle and get strong, so bulking. Now currently I'm on a bulk, so for whoever's bulking, you're not on this journey alone. I'm currently bulking as well. And to be honest, I feel like hunger is more of a problem now than it was when I was cutting. Either way, I'm gonna go through the topics in this video in order of importance. So the first topic is gonna be the most important and the last topic is gonna be the least important. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and let's get right into it. Alright guys, now the first and most important thing when it comes to bulking is being on a calorie surplus, which basically means you eat more and gain more energy than you burn, which is the exact opposite of cutting, where you're burning more than you're eating or gaining. So the idea of a calorie surplus is very simple. Now, in terms of how much of a calorie surplus to be on, I would recommend that you guys be on about a 200 to a 300 calorie surplus. But again, it just depends on how much weight you want to gain and how quickly you want to gain. But you guys want to be careful, because if you don't eat enough, then you're not going to gain any muscle, or you're going to gain a very small amount of muscle. And if you guys eat too much, then you're going to gain a lot of fat instead of muscle, which is pretty much what a dirty bulk is. Alright guys, now in order to know that you're actually in a calorie surplus, you're supposed to be gaining weight. So just weigh yourself every day for the next 2 to 5 weeks and see if you guys are gaining weight at the rate that you want to gain. And if your weight gain stalls, it's as simple as eating more calories or just doing less cardio. And I think it's also really important to mention that if you are a beginner, you can actually gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. But realistically, once you get a little bit more intermediate and advanced, this isn't going to work anymore. You're going to either have to be on a calorie deficit to lose fat or a calorie surplus to gain muscle and get stronger. Alright guys, now next up, I would say your adherence to your program and your diet is very important. Now the reason I say this is because it takes a lot more time to gain muscle and get stronger than it does to lose fat. Losing fat doesn't take as much time, while getting stronger and gaining muscle is going to take a lot more time. So this is why I would recommend you guys to bulk at least 6 to 8 months to see good progress. Because if you cut your bulk short, you're essentially taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Alright guys, now the next most important part is actually going to be split into 3 parts, and this is going to be volume, frequency, and intensity. Alright, now volume is going to be basically how many sets and reps you do. For sets, I would say per exercise, try to keep it between 3 and 4. And for reps, I would say it's good to stay in the 6 to 12 rep range. Lower reps for compound exercises and higher reps for isolation exercises. Next is frequency. Now I would say try to hit each muscle group at least 1 to 2 times per week. But it'd be better if you guys hit it twice a week, because you can maximize your gains. And how many times you should be in the gym just depends on your split. If you guys want a workout split that works for you, just look at the video that I'm going to link up top right now. Alright guys, and lastly we have intensity. Now intensity can be described in many different ways in the fitness industry, but one of the ways is basically how many reps you have in reserve or how difficult the exercise is that you're doing. Now as I said, you should keep compound exercises in the lower rep ranges, so more so strength training, and you should keep isolation exercises in higher rep ranges, or basically hypertrophy training. And in general, you want to make sure that your exercises and your program is a bit difficult, because you want to make progress over time. Alright everyone, now this next topic kind of goes hand in hand with the last topic, but this is going to be progressive overload. Now, progressive overload is important whether you are cutting or bulking, but it's very important when you're bulking because it's what allows you to get stronger and stronger. You'll notice that through your bulk, your lifts are going to start to get a lot more easier, which is why you're going to have to make your lifts a little bit harder. Now, you can progressively overload and make your lifts harder in multiple ways. One of the ways is obviously increasing your weight. You can also increase your reps. You can decrease your rest time. And there are many other ways to progressively overload in the gym with your lifts. Just make sure you guys keep in mind, it's going to be a lot easier to progressively overload as a beginner than it is as an intermediate or an advanced lifter. And also keep in mind that you're not going to make progress every single day or every single week. Sometimes you're going to stall, and that's completely okay. But just make sure not to give up and keep going. Alright guys, next up we got exercise selection. Now, exercise selection isn't the most important thing, but it is still pretty important when you're in the gym. Now I have a whole video that I've made based on my workout split and what exercises I recommend and which I think are useless. So if you guys really want to see that video, drop a like. But anyways, in terms of exercise selection, I would say you guys want to pick exercises that you're comfortable with and that you guys really like to do, and that'll make your gym experience the most enjoyable as possible. And also make sure that you guys should start with compound exercises at the start of your gym session and make your way towards isolation exercises towards the end of your gym session. And just for the people who may not know what a compound exercise is or what an isolation exercise is, a compound exercise is basically an exercise that hits multiple muscle groups, and an isolation exercise is an exercise that hits one muscle group. So for example, on leg day, an example of a compound exercise would be the squat, and an example of an isolation exercise would be a calf press. Okay everyone, now last but certainly not least, we have rest day / sleep. Now, the reason I put this last is not because it isn't important. Everything on this list is actually very important, but the reason I put sleep and rest days last is because if you don't do everything mentioned before, then what are you recovering from? Nothing. Now, I don't really think much needs to be said about rest days and recovery. Just try to get 2 to 3 rest days per week and try to get 8 hours of sleep every day. And as an honorable mention, we have supplements. Don't spend too much time on this, but if you guys want, you can use protein, creatine, and any type of vitamin. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys how to get lean muscle and how to get strong as the easiest way possible and the most efficient way possible. Now, if you guys missed my last video, that was on how to lose weight / fat. So if that's the part of the journey that you guys are on, or if you guys care about that, you guys can go watch my last video, which I'll put up a card on screen. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Peace!